Praise the Lord, beloved of the Most High God, in the mighty name of King Jesus. How is everyone this lovely Sunday evening? Jordan was here, but he fell out. Um, I don't know why I'm getting feedback from myself. I'm not supposed to hear myself coming back. What the heck? Here we go. Hold on, y'all.
Looks like it's just you and me and Lisa, Toph.
Ray, are you there?
Yes,
Did you talk or did you just sit there and not say anything?
I said something to Toph.
My goodness, I told you, start singing a hymn or something. Don't just sit there and not say anything. What in the world's wrong with you? Yeah, I'm waiting. Now you ain't got nothing to say still.
No, I don't.
Why? Why? I've told you a million times if the stream gets started and for any reason I have trouble, don't just sit there. Talk. You could read scripture. You could have pulled out your Bible and say, okay, I'm just going to read. I'm going to read right now from the Gospel of John until Lisa comes back. Haven't I told you that a million times?
A couple, yes.
Yes. Okay. So the next time you're going to be ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're
Jordan
welcome.
was here, but he disappeared. We don't know what happened. Uh, we tried to add him, and he was here, but his mic wasn't working. So I don't know what happened. I'm looking at the private chat, and I don't see anything. I don't know where he went. He just disappeared. Yeah, there's nothing here now. Okay. So
Good
thank
night.
you. Who's saying good night?
Sorry. I, I
Will
said
you
good night.
put the phone on mute? You could sing and dance and hop and skip and jump. You're bad as Jordan. All right. Can you hear us now, Jordan? Hello? See, I added him and nothing. I mean, as much as I like the fact that he's quiet, we do need him to be able to talk. He's got a brand new phone that he paid almost what $1,000 for, and still nothing. I got a phone that's 4 years, 5 years old, and I'm streaming from it right now. In fact, I had to get out of a brand new computer. I just bought it, just got it yesterday, had everything set up. It was working, and then it stopped. No, the computer was working, but the stream would not connect the mic. So I said, we already started the live stream. So let me come on over here. I grabbed my trusty old cell phone, and because I had it already set up and connected to the stream just in case, connected my headset, and now we're streaming. And now Jordan's dropped out again. Poor guy. He's going to be so tired, and the stream's going to be over. And then he'll say, I got it 2 minutes before we're going to close. We're going to talk a little bit about medical PTSD. I'm sorry Jordan is not able to join us right now. Toph, I saw you come in. I was literally going to hit the go live button, and Toph popped into the chat. And I was like, does he have radar built in? Does he have an air tag on me? Not sponsored. How did he know I was about to push the button and he jumps in the chat? So technically, he wasn't even late. We were late, but he wasn't late. Go figure. So Jay was supposed to join us. I don't know what happened to her. She's having phone trouble too. And then we were supposed to have a surprise guest. I'm going to talk about her bad because she didn't show up. And that is Jocelyn Anderson. I sent her the link. She said, yeah, I'll join you. I think she fell asleep because she doesn't stay up this late. So she didn't join either. And I'm like, look at all these flakes. Look at, y'all should just sell cornflakes. You could just drop them out of your pocket, such flakes. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. I know, something could have came up or whatever. Jordan, I don't want to add you to the stage. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Oh, no. Learn how
Yeah,
to
you work.
unmute. What was it?
I don't even know, man. I'm trying a bunch of different things. But the thing that was giving me the biggest problems, which was my suspicion, was my laptop. So that answers that question. We wouldn't have been able to, because I can't do anything on my laptop with this. It's crazy. So I'm using my phone. I got to adjust a couple of different things, but at least I'm here now.
I thought we established that earlier that your laptop wasn't suitable for you to even try it.
Well, it was suitable not to stream, but I still use it for I can watch shows on it and I can
No,
do my school
no,
assignments.
no. All of that's different from coming on here.
I
You
know
were
this is
supposed to be
junkyard.
connected to your phone and
This
be
is
ready.
junkyard. I
He said,
know.
Ray, we went over this, texting back and forth, and he showed me pictures that his phone was, his laptop was pretty much demolished in that department. And I said, okay, fine, just use your phone. And then what does he do? He tries to use his crappy laptop. just makes no sense. And then people will swear like I mean, I don't even go back and edit these things. I need to go back and edit that because it makes me look so unpolished. Like she doesn't have her stuff together. And I'm like, it's always Jordan. Y'all be blaming me. It's always Jordan. Now, see, he's laughing because he knows that you got nothing to say. If he didn't agree, he'd be all in denial and saying, "Nope, you're the devil. You're lying."
Oh wait, are we live?
Yes.
Crap!
Yes.
It was all Lisa.
hmm We didn't want to wait for you. We were like, okay, we can talk about medical PTSD without Jordan.
That's wild.
I didn't want to, but I was like, we got Toph waiting. There's somebody
Well,
else
you
that
guys could have talked about
left.
that. I don't have much to contribute with that.
No. What? Yes, you do.
Do I?
Yeah, you do. So, who wants to go first?
You do.
No, Ray Ray does. Do you know Ray Ray actually, when we started, she just sat there. She said, "Hi, Toph," and that was it for like 5 minutes. I said, "Ray Ray, I've told you a million times, grab your Bible and just start reading or sing a hymn or talk about your cat and how you miss it.
Ew.
Anything. Just don't leave dead air." What does she do? She sits there and says nothing. She didn't even
Oh,
hear her, you didn't even hear her finger tap.
darn.
Listen.
I could have told you Jordan's story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. By the way, I'm more disappointed in the fact that I didn't get to go through my introduction that I was planning.
I can't do nothing right now because StreamYard has me, and they changed a lot when there were certain things that I had as a feature that were you could play even though it was the free version. And in this version it's so limited. You push
Junkyard.
one button. Don't get me started because Restream is actually making an offer right now for just over 18, it's like $19 a month. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll just use that one because StreamYard offered me 18, then they went back up to like almost double. And I'm going, wait a minute, wait a minute. I thought I had a couple of more days to sign up. I was going to sign up today and do my stream. And when I went, it said X amount, 34 or something. And I said, no, I'm not going to pay that. It was 18. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back over to Restream. But then StreamYard sent me a customer service email that said, we have a message for you concerning giving you your discount that you wanted that we offered. And I went to it and there was nothing there. There was nothing in the message. They said, go to your dashboard. I went to the dashboard. There's nothing there. There's no messages or nothing. So I'm going, now wait a minute, what's going on here? So I sent their customer service an email and I haven't got a response yet. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna sign up for Restream and hope they offer me the lifetime package one day. Jordan got the lifetime package, never sent me the link, and now he can't even get back into his lifetime package. I think it's the funniest thing ever.
That wasn't with Restream. That was with something. And the reason
I
I can't
don't
get back
believe you.
in, the reason I can't get back into is because I can't remember what it was.
Wait. You can't get back into Restream or you can't get back into this other service?
No, I could get into Restream, whatever service I bought the lifetime subscription. I logged onto it one time. I bought a lifetime subscription one time for the Roman Catholic gentleman. Oh no, and my 1000 stream. And then my channel got taken down. And then that was a whole year.
Oh,
And
was it
so
Odyssey?
I don't think so. That sounds like a search engine.
No, I think it was Odyssey. Odyssey
No.
has Jordan. I told whatever it was, I had told him about it. And what happened was,
You didn't tell me
okay,
about this. It was a thing on Samurai.
it was on Samurai. What
Or
Samurai?
what it is that? See, now I can't remember the website I bought it off of.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Oh
like
yeah. It was that app thing that you had that had all these apps that get offered.
yeah.
Yeah, and he never told me, and he could buy a lifetime subscription to that, And then you get all these apps for free. And he was supposed to send me the link and never did. And then he came up with the excuse that he could never get back in. And I'm going, yeah, right. You just didn't want me to have it.
And then meanwhile, my channel is taken down. I don't have Revivalist for Christ at gmail.com. This is quite the lengthy way to prove a point.
Well, I keep sending you emails to Revivalists for Christ just to test it, and he still hasn't responded. So I guess, but it doesn't bounce back. That's the trippiest thing ever. It doesn't bounce back. The mailbox is full. It doesn't bounce back. This person, like it doesn't exist anymore. So
No,
it's still active.
yeah, no, I can log in. I know my password and everything. It wants to send me a 6-digit code to my old phone number to verify it's me. And they won't let me
Okay.
update it.
Okay. My aunt literally just went through this. You're going to have to actually get on the phone with customer service and have them get you back in.
What
And
customer
yeah,
service?
I know she had went through it and it
Oh,
took her like an hour.
if you
She
can
got the
find me the
number.
if you can find me the number, great. I don't
I'll,
even know
I'll,
where
I'll
you would
ask her
find that
for it because
number.
she literally just went through this 2 weeks ago because Google signed her out on her phone. And then she had a new phone and it ended up switching back. And then she tried to get everything put back on that phone. And they said, nope, you had a different number. She's like, no, this is the same number. Nothing changed. She went round and round. Finally, she got the high level tech support and they walked her through what to do in the settings to change everything and give her back her email. But she's like, it's the only email I use and everything is in there. And they finally did it. But she's like, I'm not touching my phone again for nothing. Oh, so this is a weird world. And then they did it to me, but I knew what to do, what not to click when I had to redo everything. And I ended up getting back in. But it was for yeah, it was for my YouTube. But I stay signed in on YouTube and never signed out. So I didn't have a problem getting into YouTube. I had a problem getting into my Gmail for YouTube. So I had to like look, what was it? And they brought up this old one from like 10 years ago. And I'm going, that company's been defunct for 5 years or more. Why would you use that email? And anyway, I ended up having to go around it and I found the workaround. I didn't write none of it down. I should have and did a tutorial. I could have made $1 million because evidently this is happening to a lot of people. That's what they told my aunt, that AI is actually the one messing it up. That's what they told her. They said AI is messing it up. I said I thought AI was supposed to be smart. If I give you, for example, I think there's two what do they call it? They ask you your secret question and you're supposed to answer it and it's only something you know. Well, if I've done that, then what is the problem? Reset everything. I proved it to you by answering those two questions that only I could possibly know. And she did that and they still wouldn't let her back in. But I didn't even have to get that far. I just figured it out what it was trying to do. And there's something that you have to click and then it'll go, oh, is this email no longer valid? And then you click correct or yes or whatever. And then it lets you go, okay, what email do you use now? And then you send that and then it'll go last known email that works and stuff like that. And you click and then it sends the link to one that'll work. And then you click that and then you can reset everything. And I'm like, "Ugh, this is kind of stupid. I have to prove to a computer that it's me. And then it tells me, no, this isn't you. Weird. And sometimes it's just as simple as refreshing your browser and deleting like all your history and your cache so that you can log in. Otherwise, it'll say, no, you're in the wrong password. And you're like, I'm looking at, I know this is the right password. But for some reason, it's taken an old one or something that wasn't right and taken that, and you have to clear your cache and sometimes reboot your phone or your computer or use a completely different browser that still has all of the necessary, what do they call it? There's certain things that have to be there for the browser to work, like JavaScript. They used to have Java. There's something else they use now and all this stuff. And if it doesn't have it, it won't work right. So I just use my Firefox or Brave. And usually one of those two will work. And in worst case scenario, I'll use Chrome because Chrome is Google and it'll usually work. But anyway, I hope that helps somebody. The person that was supposed to join us, Jordan, I told Ray before you came back in, I'll give you 3 guesses. And if you guess right in those 3 guesses, I will give you a $5 bag of jelly beans.
Renee.
Did you? No. That was a good guess, though.
Thanks. Mom.
No.
Okay, hold on, because that's literally all your other friends. So,
Oh,
are we like still counting Jay Shore, or is like that off the table because she's technically a panelist?
You don't get to ask questions. You just get to
All right.
answer.
Well, then I'm gonna say Jocelyn.
Darn it. Jocelyn must have texted you.
I can't wait to get my jelly beans.
Well, I was going to say, but you cut me off because you're always interrupting, was the next time I can find a $5 bag of jelly beans. So,
I was dead quiet when you were saying the stakes. Just rewind the tape.
so as soon as I can find a $5 bag of jelly, because mostly they're more than that. So if they put them on sale again, then you'll be the first to get it. All right, so I owe you a bag of jelly beans. As long as I owe you, you'll never be broke. Now,
Well, I don't know why you gave me 3 options. You only got like 2 friends, and they're here.
it could have actually been Deanne Loper. I keep in touch
No,
with her. So
no,
don't even try it.
she said she's retired from the podcast world.
Yes, but this wouldn't be her talking about anything other than recipes or what happened with the cat or her gardening. This is totally different. This wouldn't have been her talking about her book. That's what she means when she says that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Really,
I know.
really.
Same thing. So have you heard from Renee?
Mm-hmm.
When did the last time you talked to her? Last
On
year.
her birthday,
And when was that?
Monday.
so on the 3rd.
It just passed? Okay.
Wow. So
I didn't
somebody
know.
didn't
I
wish
never knew
her
her
a happy
birthday. I
birthday.
didn't know. I knew she said, like, thank you guys for the birthday wishes, but she never said when her birthday actually was.
August
So I
3rd.
didn't know.
It's funny
Okay.
because 2 people on this call know it, but sure, she's
I
never.
don't pry. You guys are nosy.
She offered the info.
Yeah, okay. She offered the info. So that means
She did.
you pulled it out of her. Like, Renee, when's your birthday? Or else I'll punch you in the
Oh
nose.
no, she's on Facebook. It's on Facebook.
See, oh, that's why. It wasn't because she told you.
She did tell me though.
Uh-huh. I disbelieve you right now. Speaking of which, I tried to go get set up with Facebook because I've been off of there forever. But everybody I'm talking to goes, "Oh, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook." And I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to find people I haven't talked to in 2 or 3 or 4 years just to say hi, see how they're doing. And the one person I want to talk to, the lady knows her, but she says I haven't talked to her in like 2 or 3 years, but I know she's still on Facebook. And I'm going, I'm not on Facebook anymore. And then I said, they don't even call it Facebook anymore.
You know,
Isn't it called Meta?
no, it's still Facebook. Meta owns Facebook and Twitter or Instagram.
Okay, but then I tried to log in, download the Facebook app, and it's going, nope, not you. I'm like, what? I can't even get the app on my computer. I tried to download it. It wouldn't let me do it. I went to facebook.com. Where do you download the app? How do I get? I'm getting a runaround, man. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
You remind me
So,
about 95% of the customers that come into my store.
so
They're like,
don't start with the
I can't
customers.
download this. I'm sorry. Do I look
Whatever they're
like on
saying is
Facebook?
true. Whatever
But
they're saying is true because
I'm.
these companies with this AI junk is wearing us out.
And then they hand me their phone and I fix it in 2 seconds. But that's beside the
Yeah.
point. Ray,
That's
Ray, I need to
you
tell you.
are your mind works like Chat GPT, so you understand that
Oh
garbage.
my gosh, I have to show you something. But Ray, first of all, because I'm too annoyed to even bring this up to Lisa. When did you add me on Facebook, Ray? Maybe a week after knowing I existed, right? I have put in the work of being Lisa's friend for 5 years. That's half a decade.
I'm
And
not on Facebook,
she,
goober.
she did not even look me up.
I'm not on Facebook. Why would I look you up?
I think it was a little longer than a week, Jordan.
Regardless, it wasn't no 5 years, half a decade.
Look at me, not even listening. How am I going to add you when I'm not on it?
I need to know if there is a friend that you have consistently touched base with this long, and you're not even gonna look me up on Facebook? Wild.
One of my friends that I know for over 20 years,
No,
he
not
just passed
real friends.
away.
Not real friends.
He just passed away.
I'm not
So
talking
if she
about
could
real life.
verify that I kept in touch and
I'm not
called her
talking
on the
about
phone
real
and
life
texted
friends.
her,
I'm talking about friends made on YouTube. I'm the
that
best
literally
you
makes
got.
no sense.
I'm the
I
best you
text
got.
Renee. I text Ray. I text Jay Sure.
Out of all
I
those
text
people, who have you talked to the
Jocelyn.
most in
I
5
text
years?
Deanne Loper.
Who have
And
you
all of
talked?
them I met on YouTube.
Who have you talked to the most?
The what?
The most.
My mother.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, it's such it's fine.
She does have a channel, but she has no videos and no nothing. She just has a count so she can
Uh,
watch stuff.
that's a channel I would subscribe to and just sit by my computer waiting for an upload.
You'll be waiting.
I'd be like, yes, mom.
I was
So,
trying to tell her. I said, "Mom, you can share my stuff in your community section." She said, "I don't have any subscribers and I don't know how to do it." I said,
actually,
"Well, you can start sharing stuff even if you don't have subscribers."
so did they change the community post where you don't need subscribers now? Because I know when I first got on, I had to have 500 subscribers before I could even use that, which made
Yeah,
no sense to
you
me.
have none. You don't have to have any. I did it on a different channel that I have just to test it, and I had no subscribers. And I had one person finally subscribe. I got one subscriber on that channel, and I post stuff. And now I think I got. I haven't gotten another subscriber, but I got some likes, and then I leave comments on other videos and stuff. But it you can do that now, and
Well,
it doesn't make sense not to be able to post it. Nobody has to see it. I mean, it's only going to be the people who are interested anyway.
hear that, Ray? We've been waiting by our phones all these months for the next podcast, and she's out there with a contingency plan YouTube channel, uploading frequently.
No, no, it was a test. It was only a test.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, how is your friend? Which one is the one that called you that name that we were never going to repeat?
Which one? I've been called so many names on here.
Okay, you know the one I'm talking about. Was it Arcane that called you that?
Oh, the effeminate Edomite?
Well, that's
Yeah.
not what I'm talking about. I'm saying, is he the one that said it?
Yeah, that
Okay,
was
now
him.
wait a minute. Because when I tried to find his channel, I couldn't find it.
Well, he wasn't a content creator, really.
Okay, so because I thought that he was the one that he was a Hebrew Israelite, right?
Sure
Because the
was.
other dude that came after us was the one that was the Gnostic. Well, that was the first time anybody ever
Oh
came
my
after me.
gosh.
And
Yeah,
what was his channel name? For something
Bible for
for
truth.
Christ? Oh, what for truth?
Bible
Bible
for
for
truth.
truth.
Oh,
Yeah.
we've made so many enemies on here, and you can't even add me on Facebook. That's crazy.
Well, he was the only person that ever came after me. And he was mad because I didn't properly define Gnosticism.
Oh, not true, not true. Also, because of me, you had the Eastern Orthodox guy come after you.
Oh, that devil. Yeah, I didn't forget him. Mr. Turtleneck. What was his name?
Oh gosh, what? See, I lose track of my enemies after like a rolling 2-year period.
How could you literally have a video with him with demon eyes and a serpent tongue.
No, nope, that's another one. That's a
That's not the same
PVO.
guy?
No.
Oh, I thought that was him.
Oh my gosh, I got so many enemies.
You do have so many enemies. How do we remain friends? I mean, I have wanted to, well, actually, I have unfriended you
Oh
and blocked you, but you
my god. That's
never knew
wild.
because I changed my mind
That's
and
wild.
switched back before you ever tried to try it. But let's see. No, I was thinking because Bible for Truth, when I go to try to listen to that video, because when I type my channel name to search for stuff, because the way YouTube's thing is, like right now, to find this stream to put on my TV, if I went to my channel, the live stream is not there. I had to go search for my channel and then search for the live stream to find it. And I still don't understand that. But I clicked on it so I could put it on my big screen and be able to see. And I don't know why it's not letting me see. I know there's a way you're supposed to be able to see the chat on the screen. Hold on a second. So I'm about to get my ice cream for the evening. So if I start smacking,
Wow.
apologies in advance. But let's see. I think it's going to be chocolate. Tillamook double chocolate, and it is delish. But anyway, oh, not sponsored, by the way. So, um, I go to try to listen to that video that he did on us. What is it? The dishonesty of For the Most High Jesus and Revivalists for Christ. And I try to listen to it, and I can't do it. It's like listening to the devil talk. I've tried to make it. I think the longest I ever got was 10 minutes, and I can't listen to it. Jordan, did you ever listen to it?
No,
Thank you.
but there's like 5 about me. So.
On his channel?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to go check those out. Maybe I can listen to him rip you up. I couldn't listen to him ripping me up, but it's funny because I said he did me a favor because the Bible says, "Woe unto you," Jesus said it, "when all men speak well of you." And I was thinking, you just confirmed my ministry, buddy. I love it. Thank you so very much. I think I even left that as a comment when I went over there and I left it as a comment. I don't remember if he has comments turned off on it there or not now, but uh I was never worried about it. I think somebody told me one other time that somebody was talking, and I said I don't care. I think it was the dude, the one whose grandfather was John Gotti,
Oh
or
my
was it his
gosh.
father? Nathan
Uh-huh.
15,
Are
whatever it
you
was.
talking about the reincarnation of John?
Uh-huh.
Such,
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's like watching Saturday morning cartoons, villain of the week. Like, I can't. These people are just so unreal.
That's what I wanted to tell you. Okay, this is what I did. Copilot is on these computers now on Windows. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I guess it was on 10 and 11 is supposed to be better, but it's not. Okay. Copilot's not terrible, but it's being powered by some form of Chat GPT. And so when you ask it stuff, like it'll tell me, "Oh, you've already did your limit of searches for today. I think it's 20." And then it wants you to pay for more. And I'm like, "This is pay to play here? How does this work? I can go do a search right now on the internet for other things and they'll do it for free, but I got to pay you to okay, I was trying to get it to create an image for me. And the image that it created was I see what computer was on. I was on a different computer and I don't even know. Well, let me see if I can pull it up here, but I don't even know how to share it anymore. They got everything so changed here. I'll try. At least I know my phone won't disconnect because I know how to plug it in, unlike somebody else who my phone died. And I'm like, they make plugs for those things.
Ray,
So
did I ever once say my phone died in this
yes,
conversation?
yes, yes,
No.
yes. There was a live stream and it happened a couple of times where Jordan started laughing, talking about I forgot to plug my phone in. And I'm like, uh, so then plug it in, wait 5 minutes and come back in. It'll get enough power
You
for you
see
to
how bad she is with details, Ray. I said, in this conversation, did I say that? She's like, yep, 3 years ago and 5 days ago.
it doesn't it doesn't really matter because you're gonna swoofle your way out of it anyway.
It's like Joel Steen, like, oh no, the
Oh,
context doesn't matter.
oh, I forgot. I should have did one on him. But anyway, there was a person that's Jordan's favorite that he likes to talk about, and I had the co-pilot. I said, make a picture of this guy, and it brought his picture up. I said, now make it look like him without it being him, because I understood you can't like it won't let you do somebody's actual likeness doing anything. I said, give me somebody that looks just like him riding a bull that's fierce with red eyes. And it wouldn't demonize the bull. It wouldn't give the bull red eyes. He said, well, I can make it fierce, but I can't give it red eyes. And I'm like, what? I can't change something that doesn't actually exist. I said, how are these other people doing this stuff? So I said, okay, never mind. I said, okay, just make the bull fierce with big horns and have this particular person that looks like this in an all black suit riding the bull with a Bible in hand with the aquarium with it, yeah, the satanic trinity on it. And it says, are you really saved? And then make it look like a comic book. And then put my channel name on the left side and as the credit for the comic book. And then I said, oh, and then on top of it,
Oh my
give me
God.
a woman in red that's very scantily dressed, but fully clothed, a sexy dress with brunette hair, the lady in red, leading that horse as though she was you know, the lady in red, which represents the devil too. And I said, I want that. And so it did it. Then when I said, oh, and it kept asking me before I could like get it to save and everything. I said, okay, just make it larger so I can use it like for a poster. So give me certain DPI, right? Well, okay, what size do you want it? And I said, well, give it to me like in a 12 by 18, and it would not do it. It was so dumb, and I'd had to tell. Finally, I got it to do it, and I said, okay, do this, do this, do this, go. And then when I said go is when it refined it and enlarged it. And I'm going, this thing is supposed to be smart. And I said, just enlarge it to this size poster. And it acted like it didn't understand that. And I'm going, how hard is that? You already got the image. It's perfect. I say, don't change it. And it acted like it had to start all over again every time. So I'd have to back up and say, okay, I don't want to lose where I'm at. I don't want to start over. This took like 2 hours to get it finally to get the image where I wanted it. And I was like, this is supposed to be progress. I could have sketched this faster. Okay, so I was just telling you. Let me see if I can pull it up.
That was exhausting.
I got to sign in again on here. Don't start, Jordo. So tell us about your medical PTSD, Jordan.
I don't have medical PTSD. That's what I'm confused about.
What do you mean? Okay,
No, it's
tell
what
us
you
about your
mean.
traumatic. See, you're as bad as that stupid co-pilot. Okay, look. How about this? Tell me about the trauma you suffered at the hands of the medical profession. Your last most egregious thing that happened to you. How about that?
Oh my gosh, you didn't tell me we were going to be getting deep like this
Oh
tonight.
no. Don't start whining. I didn't say whining was permitted.
Well, I'm talking
Whining is
about
not
my
permitted.
trauma. Well,
Ray Ray, how about you? Never mind. Ray Ray,
wow,
how
and
about
I
you?
was just about to start. That's
Well then
wild.
start already.
No, you go ahead, Ray Ray.
The last thing that happened to me, I got. I think I started with a UTI, and then they did my bladder surgery finally that I've needed for a while. But then they nicked my shunt, and I got an infection, which I never want to go through that again because I've never had a migraine in my life, and that was horrible.
Mm. So you had a migraine
Hmm.
during that, which
Yeah,
does happen to
I think
people.
it was the infection.
Yeah, it can do that.
Hmm.
Hold on. Keep talking, Ray Ray. Just keep going. I'm going to pop out for like 1 minute and be right back. Just keep talking.
Um, with the UTI, I was definitely not myself. That was very, very scary. I think that's happened to me twice in my life, and I've had infections my whole life, but that bad has only happened to me twice, and it was scary both times.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you, when that happened to you, you're in the hospital, right? You had to go to the hospital because of what happened.
Hmm.
So you went from rehab in your posh 1 room with all your servants. She's rich. Ray Ray's rich. She been hiding it.
No,
But
this was my one where I had the roommate.
yeah, I'm talking about right now. You're living in 1 room and big mansion and all that with
Uh,
with servants. But this
uh-huh.
happened where you had to leave your 1 room mansion and go to the hospital, right?
No, it happened in the one where I had a roommate, and then I
Oh,
came to
so
this
this was a
one.
while ago. So you haven't.
Yeah,
Oh, so then this. How long ago was that?
I've been here. I've been in my new place a year or something like that.
So it was
Close
over
to
a
a
year
year.
ago.
Hmm.
Okay, and you were scared. So was your family there?
Mm-mm. No, not when I was going through all that.
And
I didn't know
then
what was happening.
you didn't know what was happening.
Mm-mm.
Okay, there I popped in. Ah! See, it's supposed to be on mute.
And then I come here at the place I'm at now, and I get a sore, and I'm taking care of that for almost the whole time I'm here. So my stuff's been happening like the last 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to enter the studio, and I was like, no mic, no nothing, and it still did it. Sorry, I can't. Don't allow block. Okay. All right. Join without it. That means it's not supposed to have it. Try it again. See?
Jordan, where are you?
I am.
Apparently he's on mute. I don't know what happened. I can't do it, guys. I tried. This is the problem I keep having with StreamYard over and over again. I'm trying to log in, and all I'm trying to do is come in with no mic on, which I selected more than once. Said join without mic, and that still happened.
Wait, Lisa. So what you need to do is restart your device and turn your Bluetooth on before you get in.
Yeah, that's not what I need to do.
Yeah,
So I'm
exactly.
done. I'll show y'all the image another time once I decide what service I'm going to go with, and then I can upload it and show you on the screen. But it took 2 hours to create this image that I could have sketched by hand in probably that same time. But it had this. It actually came out pretty excellent for what it did. It didn't look cartoonish at all. It was realistic, like the realistic cartoons that they do, where it just looks like it was colorized. So, and apologies for that feedback noise, but this is one of the problems I keep having, and I'm just like, it's got to be much more simple. I was doing a lot better when I had the OBS. It was easier, and the thing I never figured out how to do was add people, but images and stuff, it was real easy to do. So I don't know. I'll figure it out one day. So, Ray, were you through telling us about your traumatic event?
Yeah, the last thing I had happen was my sore that took like a year to heal.
Yeah. Then that was something. What finally caused it to heal up?
They started with a wound vac, and then they were just doing, I think, wet to dry dressings for a long time.
Hmm.
And I don't know, just kept getting smaller.
Okay. Yeah, I had when I was in, well, see, it's kind of weird because in my situation, it took years. I didn't know that there was this thing that was called deconditioning. I didn't even know that was a thing. And you can look it up. And I didn't know that that was happening to me over a period of time. And then after a certain amount of time, it just kept getting worse and worse till where literally I could barely walk. And I was still doing streams here on YouTube at the time. And I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't tell my friends, and they didn't really know. I think they knew that I had a little bit of trouble. I told them a few little things, but they had no idea what I was going through. And one day, just I literally tried to get in my bed. It's like one day I could do it, and the very next day I couldn't. I couldn't get up in the bed. This was so crazy. I got a stepper that people use, like it's maybe 4 or 5 inches high, and I could barely get my foot up on that, and I could barely get up on that to get up in the bed. And I had to go to step down on that. And I didn't have a high bed. I didn't do like some of these people where they make their bed deliberately 3 feet off the ground. It was only about maybe 20 inches tops. And I was like, this, I don't understand what's happening to me. And I couldn't breathe, and I was having trouble. And my right leg just swelled up like a balloon. My foot and everything swelled up. And I said, I gotta go to the hospital. I don't know what else to do because I couldn't breathe and I couldn't walk. And then I went in there, and the one hospital that I went to, the doctor was a devil. I don't know how else to describe it, because they put me in this room where I had another patient, curtain on the other side of me, and that changed a couple of times while I was in there. Just in 10 days, there were two different patients. And um, some of the personnel was okay, but it was weird because you feel locked into this room because I couldn't move. They didn't give me a wheelchair so I could get around. I mean, it was weird. And then all I had was about 3 feet on my right and 3 feet on my left of space, and then the foot of my bed, and then the walkway was maybe 3 feet, and then there's the wall, and then a curtain on my left and a wall on my right. And I think I had a night table on my right, and that was it. And I was like suffering. I was like, my family didn't come see me. It was a weird time. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't remember if I told them I was there, and I told them not to worry, I'd be okay. I was downplaying what was really going on. And I'm going, why the heck did I do that? I should have told them how bad I was really doing. And so I would just pray. I didn't know what else to do, and cry. And I don't even remember a meal in there. It was a weird place to be. I don't even remember eating while I was there. And this doctor came in, and he told me, because I was refusing meds, I wouldn't take the medications. And he was like, if you don't do what we tell you, if you don't do what I tell you, you're gonna die. And he had this nurse with him, and they both laughed like the devil, like cackling right after that. And I told him, you get out of here, Satan, in the name of Jesus. And then they laughed and walked out. And then after that, for 3 or 4 days, they wouldn't let me out of there. And I kept saying, I want to get out of here. And they wouldn't let me go. And they said, no, your condition's too bad. I go, what do you mean my condition's too bad? If I have the right to refuse any life-saving measures, and I forget what they call that, where you can refuse anything, the DNR, do not necessity. You cannot tell me that I can't walk out of here right now because I elected to come here. And I said, I know what I'll do. They were holding me hostage, in my opinion. And I said, I'm going to call my doctor. And I sent an email to my doctor. I called the phone. I said, you got to get me out of here. They won't let me out. They're not helping me. And I just told them all the stuff that was happening. And then the doctor finally, I guess he was gone somewhere out of town or something. When he got back and got the messages, he called him and he said, that's my patient, and I want her transferred down to the other hospital, because this hospital was not that hospital where the doctor I had was a member of. He said, I want her transferred immediately. And they stalled him for like 3 more days. And finally, they transferred. They kept saying, oh, your condition is not stable enough. And I'm like, bull crap. You're not even doing anything for me. How can I not be stable? I've been here for 10 days, but I'm not stable. You transfer me by ambulance to get here. You could transfer me by ambulance to get back down there. So they ended up transferring me, and that was the roughest ride I ever had in my life. The half hours just felt like I was hitting every bump in the world. Ambulances riding in the back, they stink. They are not comfortable at all. And I was on a gurney, and they transferred me down there, and then I was in there about 8 or 9 days, something like that. And they didn't really help me either. They didn't get the fluid off. They tried, but it wasn't working. Next thing I know, they're sending me home. Their cardiologist is sending me home. And I'm going, wait a minute, wait a minute. Sending me home? I still got all this fluid. I still feel like crap. I can barely walk. Don't worry, we'll order your wheelchair. Uh, what? I don't want a wheelchair. I want to get better. They ignored me. They sent me home. Come to find out, that hospital got sued for millions and millions of dollars for doing that to patients, where for years they weren't even treating people. They were just letting diseases run their course. And then uh, somebody sued them because they were doing that just so they could do disease management and milk the patient's insurance. Can you believe that? Well-known hospital, if I mention their name. And
Wow.
then I come home, and I don't know, I muttered around for a month or two after that, and I was like, God, I don't know what to do. And my mom works at a very well-known hospital, and I called her and I said, Mom, what should I do? She said, look, I can't really tell you what to do, baby, but if you want to, the hospital I work for, they're excellent diagnosticians, okay? And they will find out what's wrong with you. Now, maybe you won't want to do it when they recommend the treatment, but you'll at least know what's wrong. And I said, okay, and I got to plan how to get there because I was like 100 miles away. And I was like, I can't drive, and I don't want to have to deal with my car being there and worrying about that. And I didn't know what the parking situation would be because I was like, I can't do it. So I called my nephew who lived way out in the hills out here, just the other side of that hospital. He had to actually pass it to come get me. And I said, will you come get me? And we planned it. And he said, yeah, I'll come get you. And how soon? I said, as soon as you can. He said, well, I'm off this Saturday. I'll come get you. And I don't know, it was like a Wednesday or Thursday. And I said, okay. And I told my aunt, I said, I gotta go. I told my aunt, I said, I gotta go. She doesn't drive, so she couldn't take me. And I didn't know anything about an ambulance to get from here to there and all of that. And I didn't think about doing an Uber or anything. So I think it would have cost like $300 if I wanted to do that. So I didn't know what to do. So my nephew came and got me. I said, baby, I'll give you the gas money. You just come get me. He said, no problem. I'll come get you. So he came and got me. We went all the way down, and he drove roughly 2 hours to get here, picks me up, took about half hour to get me and get my gear in the car. And I had to get from the house to the car, and that was a hot mess. I was in such bad shape that this wheelchair that I bought, I decided, okay, you swing by and pick up this wheelchair that I got off or offer up. That was a power wheelchair that turned out to be one of the greatest things. I'm glad I bought it. Um, and I'll test it. We'll test it by me getting in it and getting to the car. And I did. And I got in it, got to the car, and then I had to get out of it. Well, actually, he has a SUV. It was a big SUV at the time. And I was like, I got to squeeze. My leg was so swollen, I couldn't get in there. I had to fight to get in there. My aunt had to come pull me from one side to get in there and get my leg up in there. And I'm like, this big SUV, the seat don't go back no further. This is crazy. I'm not that tall. So I was like, this is this was just hell getting my leg in there. Finally we get in there. Throw my bags in the back. We head on down to this hospital. We pull up at the curb and I said, look, We don't even have anything. I left the wheelchair at the house. You're gonna have to go in, tell them what wheelchair you need, tell them that what I need, and tell them you need 3 or 4 people to come get me out of this vehicle, and they'll get the personnel. So they went and did that in about less than 5, 6 minutes. They came back outside, 4 guys, and I'm telling them how to do it because they were trying to do something. I'm like, that ain't gonna work. I said, I got in this sucker and I know I can get out. I said, just move that wheelchair back and I can squat stand right now because I couldn't even stand erect. I couldn't even stand up straight. I was so bad off. I didn't even know what was happening to me. And so I got out and they grabbed me by my arms and helped me get out into the wheelchair and then wheeled me inside. Off we went. And then my nephew went and found a park and he came back and I said, just go get parking in the paid lot. I'll pay. Just get the valet and everything. So he paid for the parking. Yeah, they have a valet at this particular hospital. And came and sat with me. And then my mother came. And she works there, but I had to wait for her to get off work. So finally, I think that was actually her off day, and she had to come down there from where she was at her house. And she came, and I wanted her there because she knew people. And I knew that by them seeing her, they would take better care of me because she worked there for over 34 years at the time. And so that's exactly what happened. Oh, you're Barbara's daughter. Yep. Okay, we got you. No problem. So, I mean, it didn't like help me get a room any faster. I was in the ER for, well, they tested me right there in the lobby. It was so weird. All these people were waiting because they were doing remodeling. And they tested me like for an EKG and they said, oh, you've got an arrhythmia and it's pretty bad. So you're going to get a room, but you got to go wait. And they said, I said, do I have any options on how I can wait? They said, well, you can get on the gurney. You can stay on this gurney here. We can get you a bed and roll you over there. Or you can sit in the lobby. I said, I'll just sit in the lobby. And I got back in the wheelchair and rolled over to the chair and went and sat in the chair and waited and waited. And then I don't remember anything after that. I do not remember what happened. The next time I woke up, I was in the intensive care unit and I don't know what happened. Now, it's weird because my charts don't record this blackout. And my mother said that what had happened was they came and got me and took me to do the scan where you go into the machine that's a big circle. They took me into that and she was there. She couldn't go in there, but she went outside the room in the hallway and that I was crying and didn't want to go in. And she said, baby, you're going to be okay. Now, mind you, at this time, I was suffering with sciatica really bad in my right hip. This pain, the way I describe it is somebody stabbing you in the hip with an ice pick, okay? And just once it's stuck there, they just twisting it. That's the way it feels. I can imagine. I don't know. I've never been stabbed with an ice pick, but that's how it felt to me. And I think that's part of the reason I could not raise up, stand up straight. So they have me laying on this gurney. Then they transfer you to this table that's like flat. It's uncomfortable. And then I had to lay still. I don't remember for how many minutes. I think it's at least 20 minutes. I cannot believe I made it. I can't believe I made it, however long it was. I don't care if it was 5 minutes or 30, whatever it was. I can't believe I made it without passing out. And I remember being in there and having to hold my hands over my head so they could see my chest and look at my heart and all of that. They scanned the whole body and did all of that. And I come out and I'm crying. I remember that part. And then I remember them saying, okay, your room is ready. We're going to take you to your room. And I remember my mother saying, okay, which way are you, what room number? And they told her, but I think it was the wrong room. So it took her a while because I think she still beat us to the room, even though they said the wrong room number. They take me to the room, and now they got to transfer me from that gurney because I had to move from the table to the gurney, then back to the bed. And they're like, okay, we're waiting on a special bed for you. I'm like, what? So I'm in the hallway, and I'm like, I don't want to. And they get this bed in there, and thankfully it didn't take too long. They get the bed in the room, and I got to transfer to that. And then I don't remember anything. I just remember pain. And the next thing I remember was waking up in the ICU. And I'm like, wait a minute, what happened here? So I'm back in the ICU. And this time I need oxygen. They won't give me oxygen. I'm like, why won't you give me oxygen? My doctor ordered it, and I had to go all night. Now, I knew after watching a guy who was an expert on oxygen that if your O2 levels fall below 92, you can start getting brain damage. And I was very concerned about that. And so I had a pulse ox that I brought with me. And my O2 was hanging around 86 to 88. And I'm crying. I'm like, I don't want brain damage. And I'm like fighting with him. We can't give you oxygen. You don't have an order for it. And I'm going, oh my God, my doctor ordered it. So I told my mother, I said, please go get my portable unit out of the car. We can plug it up and at least I'll have that. It's not continuous, but it'll be some oxygen. And she wouldn't do it. She was listening to my sister who was there, and I love her. They thought they were helping me. For some reason, they took the position, no, we're not going to. And I still don't understand that to this day. But anyway, because I had an order from it from my other doctor. So I was like, I don't understand. They wouldn't go get it. And then I went all night without the oxygen. And then I said, Lord, I'm just going to pray because I don't know what to do. And I remember it being so dark in the room, I couldn't stand light. I'd have the light off. I'd tell them, they turn the light on, please turn it off. I had this light sensitivity going on. And I'm struggling to breathe. And I would beg for oxygen. They were like, we can't do it. You don't have an order. And so I started praying. And then all of a sudden, about 5 a.m., I went all night long. I remember it was like 8 o'clock when they turned out the lights. And I'm looking at the clock and I'm going, please, God, let me make it. Please, God, let me make it. And I said, all of a sudden, somebody came in. This guy had a beard. And I don't know why. I saw the curls that he had coming down his ears. And I said, are you Jewish? And he said, yes. And I said, doesn't matter to me. I just wondered because I saw the curls. And I never seen a grown man with those curls except for those Hasidic Jews. And he said, yes, I'm Jewish. And I said, okay, I don't care, but can you please help me? And he said, well, if I can, I will. And I don't even think he was in there to help me. He was in the room to get something. And I said, I need oxygen. And I showed him the pulse ox, and it showed how low it was. And he said, oh God, this is not good. So then he put the hospitals on there, and it was still low. And he said, okay, just double check. And he said, I'm going to take care of you. And he left, and he came back. And he brought an oxygen mask and he hooked it up to the wall. And he said, what did your doctor have you on? And I said, 5 liters. He said, I can't give you 5, but I can give you 4. I said, I'll take it. And he put that on me and he left. And I never saw him again that whole time. Nobody asked me about it after that either. So I don't know if he put it in the chart or what, but nobody ever said, where did you get this oxygen from? And then I remember them talking to me about my condition and saying that I was going to have to go to a rehab center. And I'm like, for what? Why am I going to rehab? I didn't go to rehab when I came in here. And they started explaining to me that I had lost the ability to walk. Now, it hadn't occurred to me because I'm laying in this bed that I can't get up. And I hadn't thought about it. And I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean I can't walk? And then I tried to move my feet, and while I could wiggle it a little bit, and I knew I could feel my toes, I could move my legs. And I'm like, how did you know that? But I didn't know that. And so I could move my arms, but they hurt. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And I just started crying. And my mother was like, baby, let me tell you what happened. Some kind of way you had an allergic reaction to the dye, the blue contrast dye that they gave you. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yes, you you were okay, and then they gave you the dye and you blacked out. And you were out for 3 days. And but you would come in and out. You just kept saying Jesus is Lord the whole time. And we'd ask you what your name was. You would say Lisa, and they'd say, where are you? And I'd say, I'm at this hospital. Who's your mother? And then you'd be gone again. You'd go back to sleep. And you weren't answering them. And I said, Mama, but things happened to me while I was out. And she said, what? I said, I could hear things and I remember things. And some people were mean to me. And she said, what do you mean they were mean to you? I said, Mama, they said horrible things and they were hurting me. She said, what do you mean they were hurting you? I said, they scratched me and they pinched me and they did things to me. And she was like, what? So then I had to call for their counselor at the hospital to file a complaint because I said, I want to let people know this happened to me. And I never did get to the complaints department. They sent a counselor and he apologized, but there was never a complaint filed against the people that did it. Because of what I was going through, I didn't realize that he was just a buffer, that it never went anywhere. And then they said, we're sending you to rehab. And I'm like, well, I knew I didn't want to go all the way home for rehab because my mother wouldn't be able to come visit me. So I said, I want the closest one to this hospital. That way she can come visit when she gets off of work. And she can come visit before work if she wants. And my family is only about 25 minutes away from here. So they said, okay. And they put me in this rehab facility that was nearby. And again, that ride over there was pretty rough in that ambulance. And then I had to wait to get, again, a bed in the room. And I had to share the room with somebody. And those experiences were kind of tough. I'll go into those another time. But I learned a lot having to share the room with different people. It was unusual, but weird because this curtain separated you like 90% of the time. And it just makes you feel so closed in. And so I couldn't sit up. I tried. I couldn't even sit up without help. And they didn't. Now, this is before I had my surgery. So this was like the first time that I had to go to rehab. Then something weird happened where they started telling me I had to leave. I had been there for like 45 days or something. And they said, yeah, you can't stay. You've got to go. And I'm like, go where? Well, either to another rehab facility or home. If I can't go home, I can't even walk. So I knew my aunt couldn't take care of me if I couldn't walk. Like, hey, I didn't come in here not walking, and I ain't going home without walking. So they looked at me funny and everything, and they were threatening to put me out. Well, something happened in the meantime, and then that ended up changing. But what happened was I ended up having another episode where I really couldn't breathe, and they tried to send me to this other rehab facility that was totally junk. It was pretty bad. It was run down. It was terrible. And when I went through there and I got in the room, they put me in a bed that was broken, tilted to the floor. I'm not making this up. My mother saw it and she couldn't believe it. She was like, what is this? And I said, Mama, it'll be okay. You can leave. And then I felt like I couldn't breathe. So my mother came back after she had left, took her a half hour to find the place again. She found it and she said, baby, what are we going to do? I said, Mama, I'm going to call because I'm having chest pains. I can't breathe. I'm going to go back to the hospital. So I went back to the hospital and they admitted me. I had to be in the ER for 18 hours. And it's not fun in that one little room that they have you in the ER, if you can get a room. Some people are just laying in the hallway sometimes. And they got me a room after 18 hours. And this time I said, look, I'm so close to having the surgery done. I want to stay until the surgery. Can you move up the surgery? No, we can't. I said, I don't want to talk to you. I didn't ask you nothing. Give me the doctor. He's the one doing the surgery. He's the one that can say yay or nay. So finally, I got the doctor that was going to do the surgery. And he said, Lisa, we're going to do these things. And when you get out, you're going to get better and you're not going to have no more swelling or nothing. And so I did what they said. And I ended up having to stay there until the surgery. And then I had the surgery. I stayed for 2 or 3 more days for observation. I said, I'm not doing no more CAT scans. I'm not doing any of that. First, they were like, well, we might have to put a stent. We might have to put some mesh. We don't want you throwing no blood clots because you've been immobile. And I'm going, no. I've been wiggling my feet as much as I could. I knew about ankle pumping and all that. And I said, and I turned as much as I could. When they got me the trapeze to turn to my left and my right, and I was doing all that, I said, nope, 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 I'm not going to need it. And they went and they took me into the cath lab and they put me under. I didn't even know you had to do that. They put me under and they did their exploratory and they said, she doesn't need it. And I was like, thank you, God, because I prayed. I was like, I don't want to have to do nothing. I don't want no stent in me. And then they said, okay. And they held me until the surgery, got the surgery done, stayed 3 more days, and they said, now you're going to rehab again. So I left and went back to rehab, only now I could move a little better. And they played with me a lot in the rehab. They kept telling me I couldn't have a shower. I had to keep doing sponge baths. And I would see people go by. They had these towels, right? And their head was wet. And I'm going, wait a minute. I said, aren't they getting showers? And one nurse told me, yeah, they're getting showers. Well, why can't they take me? And they shrug. I don't know. And so I started complaining. And when I threatened to file a complaint with Medicare, that's when I started getting showered. Oh, you're entitled to 2 showers a week, but you've got to be able to get up into the shower chair. And I found out they could have actually taken me in there in a gurney. It's a whole thing. But I was like, no, that's okay. Because they have what they call lift chairs, right? And they could actually lift you and roll you in there and set you down. But they wouldn't do it for me for whatever reason. They were playing games. I found out that everybody that works at the facility is trained on how to use the lift chair. But they didn't want to do it for me. And so I started taking authority over the devil and I started rebuking the devil and I started saying, I think Jordan dropped out. Let me let him back in. Okay, Jordan left. He said he's sorry, but he had to go to bed. He's a lightweight. So then I demanded my showers. I ended up getting my showers. And this is when I slowly started getting better where I could get up and it would take everything I had. And guys, I'm not saying, oh, this is a little difficult step. It felt like I was dying to take 1 step and then 2 and then 3 and then put my bottom in the chair and then scoot up on the chair so they could roll me down the hall to take the shower. It was a chore. And then I got those and then rehab, which was great and excellent there, started helping me. And they said, okay. I said, well, they said, what do you want to be able to do? And I'm like, I want to be able to get to this commode chair. And that was my goal. So once I got to the commode chair, I could start taking the showers and all that. And it just made such a difference. And I went through a lot, but I found out how some of these caregivers will gaslight you and they won't be telling you the truth because they don't want to do the work. And one time when I was walking down the hall, what happened was they would roll me to a start point in the hallway. And they said, well, where do you want to walk? You can walk here. We can go outside. I'm like, no, let's just walk in the hallway. I'm not ready for outside yet. And they said, okay. So I walked down the hallway and I said, can we go to some place where it's not so many people? I don't like all these people watching me. So we started going to the rehab room. And then they said, I think you're ready for try the parallel bars. We can get you on those parallel bars. You can walk. And so I started doing that and it hurt like hell. I mean, it hurt. And I took 8 steps my first day. The next day I took like 13. And then the next day I took like 18. And then I went backwards and they said, okay, you're doing really good. And we started doing upper body training and they put me on the elliptical and I was doing everything I could to get ready to come home because I wanted to get out of there. My goal was to be out of there by my birthday. I didn't make it. Then I made it Christmas. I didn't make that. But I said, New Year's, I'm out of here. I don't care what's going on. I came home January 2nd because they couldn't get anybody to bring me home on New Year's Day, of course. I knew that wasn't going to happen. So I said, okay, January 2nd's fine. And I came home and it was a rough ride again in that ambulance. And my aunt greeted me. I said, when you come outside, I'm going to need my, what did she bring me? My rollator. And I said, I'm going to have to get to it and then gradually take steps and it's going to be difficult. And so I got down, I walked down the ramp. I walked difficult, but over to the rollator that she put at the bottom. And I got on it and then sat down and caught my breath and then went on in the house. And all of this was without oxygen. Thank the Lord. Because the surgery did fix a lot of that difficulty that I had. I didn't have to have continuous. And then made it into the house, got into my recliner and sat down, made it. And then the recliner broke like 2 days or 3 days later after I got home. It was a whole deal about that. I'm not going to go into that right now. Then I had to get another one so they had the lift chair part. But I wish I would have got a rocker instead, a rocker recliner. But anyway, um, I've been through so much and I'm still recovering. Every day I'm getting better, getting stronger. I'm able to do some squats now, not a lot, but I know that's strengthening my leg muscles, which is what I need so I can walk even better. But I went through a lot and I didn't know that it was such a thing. And I just want to encourage any of you that's out there that's going through, whether you're at home or in a rehab center or in the hospital, the Lord is still who He is because I was supposed to not be here according to everybody else. And I kept saying, the devil is a liar. It's not my time to go. God's not done with me yet. And I just kept going. And here I am. So no matter what attack you're receiving of the devil, the Lord Jesus Christ is still greater. Greater is He that is in us than he that is in the world. Good night, Jordan. I don't know if you're still listening. He probably fell asleep and is snoring. But I just wanted to say good night to everybody. I do have to go now. See, he could have hung in for 15 more minutes, lightweight. So, Ray, do you have anything else you want to say before we go?
Yeah, real quick about the machine. What is it called? You know, the one where they put you in and
I
you
think
talked
it was
about
a
it.
CAT scan.
Yeah, that. Um, so I had to do several of those, and I also had uh, was it pneumonia or something like that, where I was not able to breathe properly, and it was one of those things where they kept having me do the instructions, hold your breath for the last time I had to
Right.
do it. the last time I had to do it, I was like, I cannot hold my breath, and I was like, I forget what I said, but I was panicking the last time and I don't panic in those things. I've had a lot of them,
Yeah.
but by
Yeah.
the last time, I was panicking because I couldn't breathe and I didn't want
Yeah,
to
you
hold my
can't
breath.
be on oxygen when you're going through it. And I'm going, how the heck is somebody who's on oxygen supposed to get this scan? You want to see if my lungs have fluid, which is part of it, because they wanted to make sure I didn't have pneumonia at some point because of all the swelling in my leg. So they wanted to make sure my lungs was clear, and they were, but it was really weird. It's like, how do you do both? You can't breathe, but they won't
Hmm.
let you have the oxygen. And it's like, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, and they were finally like, okay, you don't have to do the instructions. We just need you to go in it. I'm like, okay, fine, but I cannot breathe. I was literally having a panic attack, and she almost turned me right back around to go back to the rooms that we're not doing it, but I ended up doing it.
With or without your oxygen.
I didn't have oxygen. I wasn't on
Hmm.
oxygen at the time.
So you had to calm down and just breathe, and you don't even know what your O2 sats were, do you?
No, they were oh, they were really low apparently because or something because she was about to turn me right back around and go back to the room.
Wow.
She's like, we
See,
can't do it
this is what
right
I'm
now.
talking about. It's like you don't even know what's going on and what's happening to you, and they act like you're breaking the law if you ask what's happening. It used to infuriate me when they would come in and do my blood pressure, and the machine that they're using be turned towards them, and you can't see it,
Hmm.
and so you go, "What's my blood pressure?" And they get attitude and they have to tell you, and I'm like, I got a right to know.
Hmm.
Very weird. It wasn't everybody, but it was a lot of them. But anyway, thank you
Yeah,
guys for joining me. Oh, I'm
that was
sorry.
that's okay. That was the scariest uh, night of my life when
See,
I
that's
was
what I
having a
don't like about you, Ray Ray. I can't
panic
get you to
attack.
talk, and then when you do start talking, you won't shut up. So say goodnight, Ray Ray.
Good night, Ray Ray.
No, say your closing.
The Lord loves you. Wait, no, that's not it. Is it? I don't even remember my closing anymore. It's been so long, Lisa.
It's been so long. I
The
can't
Lord loves
believe
you with
it.
an everlasting love. I love you too. Good night.
That's not all of it, but we'll take it.
I
And
know
I
it's the
think all
gospel.
you,
The gospel is 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4.
amen. And I don't know, you can join Ray Ray. What platform are you on, Ray Ray?
X.
She's on X. So
I'm.
X is a different platform than YouTube, right? That's like Twitter now, right? It used to be
It
Twitter.
used to be Twitter. It's now X.
Finally got
Uh,
back into my account over there, and Ray Ray came and said hi. Thank you, Ray Ray. And
and
then
I'm on Facebook, and I'm starting to do videos again on YouTube. Kind of.
okay, she's on Facebook, X, and she's starting to do videos again, reading the scripture again on YouTube. Praise the Lord. And I'll put all that in, at least her if Ray Ray, if you send me the info for your X and how to get a hold of you there, I'll put it in the description. But right now all I have is your YouTube channel link. And
Yeah, I'll give you X. I won't give you Facebook. That's
okay,
more.
email it to me. I need you to email it. And tomorrow's fine, it's soon enough. And
Okay.
then you can reach me here. I'm actually on Twitter. Every time I try to go think about signing up for something else, they want all your information, like all these contact permissions and stuff. And I'm like, nope, 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 I'm not doing it. You're too nosy. I'm not doing it. So I haven't gotten on any other platforms. I'm still on Twitch streaming And also, it streams live, but then it disappears. There's nothing there. And then Rumble. I haven't streamed in Rumble in a while. And I was also had some old videos on BitChute, and I might, once I get better, I'll start uploading stuff over there. But right now, the main way to reach me is still here at YouTube, or you can hit me at For the Most High Jesus at protonmail.com, protonmail.com, or I had the buy me a cup of coffee thing going, and the link is dead. Now I got to spend tomorrow figuring out what happened with the link. So thank all of you for your patience that want to donate. I tried it and the link is dead and I don't know what happened. And I've got an email into their customer service because I don't know how to fix it. So hopefully we'll get that squared away tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening and a great week. And until we come together again, blessings in Jesus' mighty name.